going to be the co-main event. Jake Matthews versus Michael Morales. And this fight right here, it's going to be Jake Matthews, 19-6. He's 3-2 in his last five. He's coming off that rear naked choke submission over Darius Flowers, fighting against Michael Morales, 15-0, undefeated, 5-0 in his last five. He's coming off that decision victory over Max Griffin. Michael Morales will be the younger fighter here by 5 years. He's going to be the taller fighter, and he has the 7-inch reach advantage here. Odds for this fight, Michael Morales right now is a minus 280 on Bet Online. I think that for this fight, I'll let you go ahead and take this one too. What do you think about this fight between Michael Morales, hype prospect, over Jake Matthews here?
So Jake Matthews, he's a good fighter. He's a pretty good fighter. He manages distance and he's pretty calculated throughout a fight. But he still, despite his pretty solid stand up, he does get hit. And I think against that 7-inch reach you said.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna be. Yeah, that I don't know if he'll be ever to measure distance against a young, explosive, pretty quick Michael Morales, who's 15-0. And I think that 15-0 is legit. I think he's decorated in terms of striking and as well grappling, if I'm not mistaken. And he uses all of his tools. And Jake Matthews, he has solid striking. It's just I've seen him get dropped too many times, I think. And in a fight like this against a more dangerous Michael Morales compared to a Semmelsberger, Michael Morales is going to connect, and I think it'll look much more devastating than the knockdowns that Semmelsberger had. So, yeah, my pick here is Michael Morales, and yeah, I think Michael Morales is going to live up to the hype. And yeah, he's not like a Gabriel Bonfim or any of those other guys who who choked the moment. But yeah, I got Michael Morales here. He'll pull through in this co-main event. So yeah, he's a lock
For sure. Yeah. Spoiler alert, I also agree with you. I think Michael Morales is a lock here. Um, I think this fight is going to be really similar to the Matthew Semmelsberger fight. And just to let you guys know, I was on Jake Matthews on that fight. I thought he was going to win because he was coming off a really impressive win against Andre Fiallo. It turns out we were all overrating Andre Fiallo, right? Because just check this out. I mean, Jake Matthews was a plus 107 against Andre Fiallo, so he was an underdog. Next fight against Matthew Semmelsberger, he was a minus 290 favorite. So we all thought this guy, oh man, this guy's all put it all together. He's coming to his own. He's mixing his striking with his grappling now. Because, I mean, Jake Matthews, he's been fighting the UFC for a pretty long while, right? I think he's been fighting the UFC since 2014. So he's been damn near 10 years already. He's fought mainly at the 155, and then he moved up to 170. So, I mean, we all thought that he was going to put it together and all that, but man, he just showed up to that Semmelsberger fight and just looked lost out there. I mean, Semmelsberger was just like dropping him at will. I was actually surprised that he even survived that fight because I also had the over on that fight. So I was like, man, I hope this guy just survives. And he ended up, he did survive, thankfully. But yeah, that fight just showed me that, man, I don't know if, I don't know if he's that guy. I think that he's just one of these like journeyman kind of fighters as far as his skill set and his potential even. Uh, and Michael Morales is just a little different. I mean, Morales, like you mentioned, also he has a pretty good pedigree as far as his grappling and wrestling. I believe that he's like a nationally like ranked Ecuadorian wrestler or something like that, like almost like Olympic level. So I mean, he has all the wrestling credentials that you need. Also has pretty powerful strikes, long rangy fighter. You saw in that last fight against Max Griffin, who's a pretty. I think Max Griffin is like an underrated vet. and Michael Morales won that decision easy, in my opinion. Yeah, I just think that overall, Michael Morales has Jake Matthews covered in like every area. Um, the only area where he might not have uh, an advantage in is like pure jiu-jitsu. But even then, I don't think that fight's even going to go that direction. I believe that Michael will try to knock Jake out. And given what we saw between his fight against, Matt Semmelsberger, I think that he might not be able to survive it. Like you mentioned, these shots that are coming from Michael Morales. So pick here is Michael Morales by KO. I believe that Michael Morales is a good money line to put in your parlays even. Right now he's a minus. Let me check the odds again. He's a minus. Let's see here, minus 280. So I mean, I think that's pretty decent odds. Um, Michael Morales by KO even is a plus 135. So similar to the Uroš Medić one, right? Like they pretty much think that this guy's potentially going to get knocked out. So yeah, give me Michael Morales as a lock here, as a parlay lock.